Good morning. Good morning. This is Will. How are you? Good to see you. So, just in the title, what the title says, I'd like to know your opinion on how you feel about YouTube. And it's just a simple question. How do you feel it works for you in your life? Does it help you out? Does it create opportunities? What has it done for you to help you in your everyday life? That is the question. Because for me, in the last 4 years, YouTube really hasn't helped me a whole lot. And I'm just saying this just to be honest. And I ain't saying this to be mean or disrespectful, because I've met a lot of really cool people, but I've really met a lot of horrible people. Very, very, just, I've lived a sheltered life. I live up here in Maine. I've never left, never gone to a different country. Only gone to a couple states, so I'm pretty narrow minded, so I really shouldn't say much, in my opinion. But I do have my opinion, and I tend to speak it sometimes without thinking. I'm going to be thinking today. So, from my opinion, anyway, um, yeah, YouTube does have some great things. It's opened up uh, so many different avenues of learning. Uh, it's opened my eyes up to a lot of things that I didn't know about. So, educationally wise, YouTube's helped me drastically. But as far as what the intention was years ago on what I thought it was, is is not. This world revolves around money, and I understand that completely. And I know every single one of us need it in some form of way in this society to live. Completely understand that. Um, if you want to come in, please just hit the like button too. I'd really appreciate it. It helps my channel, because me too, I am trying to grow as well. But anyway, you can do whatever you want. No, if I had a lot more money, it would be different. I think I could make a lot more difference and change in the world. But because of my situation and where I am, that I chose to be, I haven't chosen money over all things. I don't worship no graven image. I've come to understand that money is given graciously. It's never yours completely. It goes in circles to complete some forms of happiness in your life. Okay, that's my understanding of money. I don't necessarily need money to be happy, I guess. I don't know. Either way, I'm not stuck on the idea that YouTube's going to make me famous and YouTube's going to make me millions of dollars. So I'll just put it out there. All right? I'm not expecting that to happen. Because I've been here on here long enough to realize that the only difference that I can make is through my words and my face and my point of view and my perspective of life in general. And YouTube does give me an opportunity for that. So I do thank them for that. I appreciate it. But the amount of money that YouTube makes and the hundreds of thousands of millions of people that help YouTube make that money, because I'm going to be honest with you, without your videos, YouTube would be anything. They wouldn't even be a company. And I feel that there should be more appreciation to these fellow content creators on here on YouTube. And I'm sorry that you fellow content creators don't see it this way, or most. But I feel in a roundabout way, there's a lot of us out here that work so hard on our channels. And I see them when I go to them. And it's heartening that most of these channels aren't making that much money, if any at all. And that breaks my heart because their content is wonderful. But because they only have like 1,500 or 2,500 or 5,000 subscribers, they're making pennies on a dollar. You can't expect to make an income or a living as a YouTube content creator every single day doing the very best you can by making videos. And I'm not speaking for myself. I'm speaking for my fellow friends and my fellow YouTube content creators. That's who I'm trying to reach out to. The ones that deserve a lot more from YouTube and a lot more respect and a lot more dignity. Because these people work very hard at what they do, making money for YouTube. Yet money that creates YouTube to be far bigger than it can never get any money. The money that YouTube makes off all these content creators and these major big ones, I think personally, they could pay something a livable wage for every single one of us that are working hard every day, that make hundreds of videos a year that people go and watch, and short videos. There's no reason why YouTube can't pay a little stimulation for longevity, consistency, giving someone a little incentive, for making 100 videos a month, or reaching a certain goal of, I don't know. I'm just throwing stupid ideas out there for YouTube maybe to catch on to, because the 4,000 watch time hours is very hard for an average YouTuber to even come to, especially when the channel is primarily shorts. You're not going to get 4,000 watch time hours just by doing a shorts produced channel, people. I've been trying to do it for the last 4 years. It's not working for me. And it may be working for others. I don't know. But I'm at wit's end here as far as the disrespect and the dishonor and all the work that these YouTube content creators put into these channels with nothing. YouTube makes millions of dollars, people. And there's third world countries, and I'm not even downing them. But what I'm saying, all over the world, there are some wonderful YouTube content creators that are producing wonderful music. I saw one yesterday, okay? He's a flutist. He plays a flute, and it's so beautiful. That dude should be making a lot of money. Seriously. The guy is super talented. There's another channel, Mountain Range. She's a wonderful, wonderful person. She got a beautiful voice. She does all kinds of instruments. She puts it all together. She's a producer, artist, songwriter. She's phenomenal. She should be making money on YouTube. She's that good. Yet YouTube doesn't want to recognize that. And I understand that she probably doesn't even care about me speaking. This has got nothing, I'm not promoting her. I'm just telling you the truth about this channel. She's amazing. Her words, how she speaks, the way that she writes her music, and how she puts it all together in music and performs it. It's amazing. I'm completely blown away by it. And I'm just shocked that she's not more successful here on YouTube. And it kind of bothers me a little bit that we have so much talent that's not even being recognized because there's billions and billions and billions and billions of videos that you got to fight with. All of us have to fight with. And that's just hardening. And you have to do so much hard work, man. And yes, I guess you have to do a lot of hard work to make money. I completely understand that. But holy moly, 4 years later, almost 10,000 videos later, there's something that I'm doing wrong. And maybe it's me. I'm finally accepting the fact that maybe I'm not good enough for YouTube. Plain and simple, people. And I've accepted that. And I'm okay with that. And I'm not I'm not going to get done YouTube because of that. Because I'm using YouTube as a tool for me to write down my thoughts, and I can verbally speak them and create a video myself. I love doing that. I love creating the words with the picture. I'm okay with that. So I've come to the realization that I've surrendered everything that I've ever wanted out of YouTube. I've surrendered everything that I've ever wanted out of the viewer. I've surrendered any friendship that I have ever had and I've ever lost on YouTube. I've surrendered it all. I no longer give it any more power to me. I don't need it. Doesn't mean that I hate anybody. It just means I need to let it go and start over. And focus on my writing that I completely enjoy doing, that I have a passion for. And I have a passion for speaking my writing. And I have a passion for creating a video from my words. And that's what I want to focus on from here on out. I consider myself a writer, a poet, a motivator, a coach, a father, a husband, a man. I'm trying to make a difference in this world. And having it very difficult time here on YouTube. I've tried so many. I've tried. And I'm not where I want to be. Where I wanted to be 4 years ago. I mean, I had a 5-year plan. I blew that plan out of the water. I don't really care about it anymore. I'm just going to try to be the best version of me. And sometimes come on here and talk to you guys or whatever. But the idea of being a millionaire off YouTube or even making money off YouTube is a distant memory as far as I'm concerned. I realize the value of $1 is only the value that you give it. The only currency that's really truthfully valuable is you. The person that's staring in the camera and the person that I'm speaking to on the other side of this camera. That's the only true currency in this world. So you can put value on money. Excuse me. But I put more value in you. The value comes from you. Sorry about my voice. Got a frog in my throat. So whatever. I'm trying to say this is, without you, YouTube has no currency. You're the only currency that YouTube has. And your value is more valuable to them than you realize. But all of us are just quiet and don't speak up. And I never used to speak up. But I know my value of currency. And my value of currency is me, and my value of me is more valuable than any amount of money anybody could pay me. And to me, this is more valuable to me than any more money. Any amount of money YouTube could ever pay me. The value of this video is more valuable if there's a face on here with value. And we all have value. As long as your face is behind a camera, your currency is alive. I just wish that YouTube would realize this. The most important value in this whole entire world is the human race. We give this world value. We need to be here. And there's got to be a separation of power. We can't allow all the power to be in the richest hands. There's got to be a separation. And that's going to be hard to change. The value of currency is you. The rich already know this. And they're using every one of us to make them more rich. And I don't care about doing that. They have enough money. Personally, they have more than enough money to change change this world 10 times older. Jeez. The money that all these rich people have, we could change poverty. We could give everybody water. They have the money and the power to do that. They don't choose to. I don't know why. I do so much without money. And I know you guys probably don't believe me, but I do a lot more than people think without having a lot of money. I don't know how to prove that. I don't have a job. I don't get a paid. All right. I left my job 7 years ago to raise my grandson due to the rising cost of daycares. My wife's never had a live driver's license, so I've been driving her back and forth. She has epilepsy, so she's never had a license. I've always had jobs. I worked for 25 years. Different kinds of jobs. I worked in the shoe factory, making athletic footwear for one of the largest companies in the world. I did that for about 10 years. And then majority of my life, I've worked in the mental health field, taking care of people with developmental disabilities. Give me a minute. So, back it all up. I worked for 25 plus years of my life. I just haven't worked for the last 7.5 or 8 years. Majority of my life, I've always served others. Even in my work life. Made shoes for people. Took care of people that couldn't take care of themselves. worked in the disability field, and people with developmental disabilities was the hardest job that I ever experienced. And doing it for 10 years took a toll on me physically and mentally. It was just hard living basically two lives, because I'm not the type of person that treated my job as just a job, and I really cared about the family I looked after, and I helped out, you know. And the nasty side effects of that stuff is it affects your family life, and it affects me. And during that time of my life, I indulged in certain things that I probably shouldn't have. Extracurricular sexual activities that I probably shouldn't have done. A lot of extra drinking was a direct effect of the job, the effect of the job on me. You know, and then backing it up, personally trying to find something that was always missing in my life that I never realized what it was until I got older. Being from a person that didn't have a mother and a father or any loving figure in my life, I spent most of the majority of my life searching for what love was and all different kinds of things, you know, being dishonest when I was in that boat. I'm not no longer that way anymore, people. So I'm just telling you the story on how I got here. And a lot of it had to do with alcoholism, drugs, and promiscuous activities that, you know, I shouldn't have done. And I did them. I'm fully accepting that completely. But everything that I've done in my life has completely put me where I am today. Period. But primarily, I've been a servant, and all my jobs that I've ever done in my life, I've always served others. And money that I was doing at the time more than the money. So I've always had that idea and that mindset behind me that I was always the currency. And having that mindset, knowing that I create the currency. The currency really doesn't exist unless I give it the power of it. So yeah, I made an honest living for career at this late for because my job, and I needed to get to work. Kids needed to be to school. You know how it all works out. And I did this. I balanced it for 25 years. And I just said, frig it, screw it. I can't do it anymore. In 2017, I was like, I'm done. Completely done with everything. Gave up alcohol, gave up all the drugs. I had to. I had to do it. I knew where that life was going to go, and it was no longer anything in my life that I even felt good about. So I was at a wit's end. And my drastic change started in 2017. 2017 is when everything really changed for me. It's when I had the near-death experience with overdosing on pure moonshine, like 90, I think it was like 93%. And I thought I was going to be a cool guy, and yeah. So that kind of changed everything with how I saw life. You know, my grandson was going to be here soon, and I didn't want him to be around alcohol. You know, all my other kids, they grew up around it. My oldest daughter struggles with it. And I didn't want that same. I was already thinking in my head that I wanted to change everything. I didn't want to stay. Owen changed my life, guys. When Owen came into my world, it was the change that I was looking for and I needed to get away from that old life. And I'm still trying to adapt to this new life. And learning how to budget what I do have and only care about what I have and not care about what I don't. These are all things that I've had to start. I started from nothing and I did it all on my own. I didn't go to a therapist. I didn't go. I didn't have. No one understood what I was going through anyway, so I did it all myself. Did it all by myself, and I used techniques on YouTube that I use today. I still use a lot of my healing techniques that I use, and they're always going to be a part of my life. I'm never going to get rid of them. I've turned over this new healing leaf where I've turned myself into a self-healer, and I do a lot of healing work for myself. And I use vibrational frequencies to do that. And I use my organite that I have. I got right here. There's a piece right there. It's mine. So I guess basically naturally, I've turned myself into a healer, and I've learned to heal myself, and I'm healing every day. And so YouTube's changed a lot. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I'm still saying that because I have to be reminded that I don't need it. And plus I don't like taste of it anymore. I didn't think that ever happened to me. Honestly, I thought, I'm not even going to say what I thought because it really doesn't matter. I honestly feel that I don't have it anymore. I don't have what I had 4 years ago behind the camera. And I think that's something that bothers me a lot because it feels like I've lost something in the last 4 years. But I think in reality, I didn't lose anything. I've gained a lot more spiritual knowledge. I've gained a lot more faith and confidence in myself with the tools that I have found in my life. And now for the year, it's been over a year now, but my brother's been 1 year solid in recovery, which he hasn't done any drugs in a year. And he's slowly weaning himself off his medicine that they have him on. And I feel like I have a huge part to play in this situation. And 2 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to be here to help him. And I wasn't in that state when we tried helping each other. I tried helping him a couple of years ago. I finally have realized and surrendered myself to whatever it is. Okay? And by me doing that, I'm learning. So there's so much that starting to realize it. There was last year alone, I think there was 3 deaths in my family, or at least 2 definitely, and a horrible divorce that I had to experience of my daughter. That was all part of this life. Plus, on top of Brad living with me living with me. So, like the last 2 years is something that I look back at now and say, wow, I made it through all this stuff. How in the hell did I do it? But it was the love of healing, music, and some of you others out here, these YouTubers that and talk to you in comments. And for the last year and a half, I've been pretty much a hermit because I surrendered everything. I just let God do it, and I was listening to what God was telling me to do at the time, and I followed His lead. And I didn't need to be on YouTube and doing it face to face anymore for a while. And He gave me an opportunity, which was writing and speaking, um, and creating videos on that. And I fell in love with it. So I really love doing what I've been doing lately, especially following Owen around through his experiences, him doing this basketball thing. I never forced him to. This was all his choice, and I wanted to video his experience. And that's what I started doing. So I'm just starting to find the videos and the things that I'm producing here on my channel are just solely from what my passions and my desires are about. They're not what they were before. I used to do a lot of truck pulling and fair going and all that stuff. And I don't know if we're going to be doing that per se much anymore. It's going to be more of my love and passion, what really I love. That's what I'm going to start doing. And videos like it's kind of crazy. I don't know what anybody else thinks about it. I don't know I don't know why my videos aren't on. Oh well, I don't have any likes either, so it doesn't really matter, does it, Will? It really doesn't. The sadness and the truth. The truth will never fail you, I'll tell you that. Alright, guys, I guess I'm done with this chatting thing. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you.